Good morning and welcome to my hobby table for yet another episode of Engine Talk. Today's engine is a recent acquisition and it is a old Enya CX45 engine. And I was pausing saying that because I kept looking at these fins that are broken off on the head, wondering and hoping that there's any way that I'll be able to find a replacement head for this engine. Now, this is an eBay engine, and as far as I can find, there was only one review article on this engine, and I think it was from maybe Mike Billington or something from Model Airplane News. Maybe that was his name. He wasn't super high on this engine for some reason. He had some pros and cons, and it seemed like the cons were kind of whiny complaints to me, but I think Enya two-stroke engines are awesome. So closer inspection of this shows this is a rather rough looking engine. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff on it. So this is going to be my next project for a bearing replacement, and hopefully I can get this thing cleaned up. I don't know what this stuff is. At first in the pictures I thought it was JB Weld, but it's not. It just looks really gross. This might be another one that I send out to see if my buddy Jay will do a vapor hone job on it to clean it up. Because the thing that was nice about this engine was not only was the price right, I thought I had more Enya CX45s on this channel, but I was going back and looking, and it looks like I've only had one other Enya CX45, and there's only two videos, and one was a look inside and one was like a quick run video. So this is kind of a new thing for me. But this, I believe, is an ABC engine. At least that's what that article said. Now I know that the Enya 40C or 45C or 45X, I believe, was like an AAC construction. But the thing that's nice about this engine is that a lot of times for the price range I got this, you're getting an engine without an exhaust, and at least this one came with an exhaust. And alright, so I'm going to do probably a disassembly. I don't know if I'm going to show it or not. Let me see. I have these head screws pretty loose. Yeah, because I did look inside the head already. I'll just do this real quick and show you. This is a really heavily used engine. In fact, the carb is stuck, which doesn't surprise me. I haven't done anything to this other than take the spinner and the prop that were on here off, and unfortunately this prop hub and nut did not come with this engine. They're from my my 40 model 6002 engine, so I need to get proper hub or washers and nuts, and the prop hub on this thing is not in very good shape either. But you'll see here, if I can get this head off quickly, you'll see how carboned up this piston is. It's tight. I mean, so it's tight turning over, but that could be because of the compression and because of the fact that it's just really old. I mean, look at the top of that piston. You can't get much. I mean, I can visibly see black soot, and I can feel black soot on the top of that piston. The thing that was kind of nice was that, look, it shouldn't be that hard to take apart. See, watch the sleeve. So the sleeve is coming up really nicely, so that shouldn't be an issue to get out of there with a little oil. Get on that with my glove or something. Looks like it's even coming up even more. Yeah, I could take that thing out right now. And maybe I will, I don't know. But anyway, so this is going to be one of those things where it'll really be a test of that ZEP cleaner to see if that will really clean this engine up. Because there's some stuff on here, I just don't know what it is. I was kind of poking at it with, I don't know if it looks like it's old masking tape. Shit, I don't know what the hell I just did there. It almost kind of looks like I just took some of the finish off. I don't know what this engine was subjected to. I really don't. But I'm going to hope that I can at least get this thing in a little bit better order here. If nothing else, I'm going to put bearings in it and make a video for Boca. But so that's part one of this engine talk, and now the second part of this is not really an engine video, but I was going through the garage the other day cleaning up some stuff, came across a box with a bunch of old pictures from my history, family pictures and stuff like that, and I found some RC pictures, photographs that I thought I would share because I think they're kind of interesting. At least they are kind of interesting to me. So those of you that, well, probably most of you don't know, I learned how to fly and got into the hobby when I was in the military in Missouri. And so I'm going to show you some pictures, and where I lived in Missouri was, where this first photo was taken was at a little town called Knobnoster, Missouri, which is where Whiteman Air Force Base was, which is where I was stationed. 13 miles to the west of Knobnoster was a town called Warrensburg, where after I got out of the military, that's where I finished my education, and where I really, and that was the location of the flying field. Now, 30 miles north of Warrensburg was Higginsville, Missouri, which is the headquarters, or was the headquarters of Ace RC, and that ties into some of these pictures too. So let me zoom in here a little bit more and show these pictures from the past. So this is a picture of me in Knobnoster, Missouri, and this was the very first ARF I ever bought, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it was called. It looks like it just says Flyer. Maybe it was a Sport Flyer or something. It was a pattern plane, and I can't remember what engine I had on it, but it was an old late 80s ARF, so if those of you that have been around the hobby know what the quality of those was like then. Not all that great. Here was one of my favorite airplanes of all time, and this is probably probably the third or fourth airplane I ever built, which was some pictures of my Great Plains Super Decathlon 40, which this particular one, I had several of those. It looks like this picture is out of order. This picture is a couple of my, from the Central Missouri State University flying field, RC flying field, where I learned to fly. That's my SIG Kiwi, and that's a Great Plains Super Sportster 40. I can't recall. I think maybe I had an ASP 46 in this, and I don't know what I had in that, but we're going to get back to some more of these Super Decathlon pictures. So this one, I had several of these done in this exact same trim. This one has an ASP 46 two-stroke engine in it, and then I later, very quickly after that, I just upgraded this engine, or this airplane. I got a Enya 80 four-cycle engine, which was my first four-cycle engine. I bought that in 1989. So here are the interesting pictures, because Ace RC used to have an annual float fly, and that they had a lake right behind right behind their facility where they would host this annual float fly, and it was always covered in the magazines, the Model Airplane News and RC Modeler. And so I attended that float fly one time, and it looks like here we've got a SIG Astro Hog on floats. I don't know what that particular plane is. So here we got some Cubs, and I don't know, that looks like another Astro Hog. So you can see there's quite a good turnout here. It looks like more pictures of the Cubs. Here is a SIG Morrissey Bravo on floats. That was a pretty big scale. It was like a giant scale engine, or giant scale plane. Pretty big plane. Quarter scale. Quarter scale is what I mean to say. I don't know what some of these other, oh, you know what some of these others are? I bet you some of these are Ace Bingos, because Ace would always have a lot of their airplanes there, or people, locally would fly those. So I think we're getting close to the end of this. Yeah, we're at the end of the pictures there. So anyway, I just thought I'd share those things with you because I came across these pictures and I was thinking about them a few weeks ago. I was like, I wonder if I still have any of those pictures from the float fly, and I did. So anyway, that's our engine talk video for today, and look for me to be doing something with this engine, hopefully making it a little bit better than it currently is. Well, it'll definitely be better than it currently is, but maybe it'll be something I can get running here, for next season.